Welcome to the Bombay Film Colour Symposium at the UCL in London. For those of you who do not know my name is Ranjani Mazumdar. And I teach cinema studies at Jawaharlal Nehru University in Delhi. This symposium is one of the events that is part of the ongoing work of the Bombay Film Colour Research Network supported by the AHRC. Kirsty Dootson of UCL and I are network conveners, and Purvi Gaur is the network coordinator who has done all the work for this symposium. This network was established last year with the intention of bringing together film personnel, archivists, academics to jointly grapple with and construct a history of Bombay cinema's adoption of color and the challenges that emerged with the different kinds of film stock and processing techniques available. Our specific focus is on the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. However, we are also open to engaging with the later decades and the final transition to the changes that have emerged with digital technology. This is the first group dedicated to understanding color in Bombay cinema, and forming this network was considered an important task given the paucity of paper archives and the need to have oral history interviews with surviving film practitioners and contemporary practitioners who have knowledge of the past that has not been recorded anywhere. In order to help with the conversation on Bombay cinema's negotiation of celluloid color, we have also drawn on the experience of network members. Some have patiently shared their knowledge with us through interviews, while others have written short articles on particular films or historical junctures. Our symposium today is important because we plan to share what progress we have made till now and collectively explored new methodological avenues and opportunities in the study of Bombay film color. Let me now hand over the task of introducing the symposium and the work done till now to our very own Kirsty Dootson.
So thank you, Ranjani. So good morning, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kirsty Sinclair Dootson, and along with my very generous collaborator, Ranjani Mazumdar, I co-convene the Bombay Film Colour Network. Since Ranjani's introduced you to the research network, it's my job to explain a little about our ambitions and expectations for the symposium today. We're delighted to be welcoming participants from across academia and the creative industries, and to hear from those whose work with colour spans the studio floor and the processing laboratory, as well as the library and archive. Our chief aim in developing this symposium was to bring into lively dialogue those who work and think with colour as a material, technical, and aesthetic matter, as well as a historical and theoretical phenomenon. We're thrilled to be joined today not only by leading scholars in the field of film and media studies, but by filmmakers, producers, and curators, as well as art director Aradhana Seth and Ujwal Nagorkar, the technical advisor for India's National Film Heritage Mission. You will notice we have deliberately not given our speakers name tags today in a bid to encourage everyone, participants and audience alike, to get to know one another and engage in dialogue both on and off the stage. So months ago, when we started inviting our speakers to participate in this event, we were routinely met with two responses. The first, I would love to come and speak about colour, but I don't really know much about Bombay film history. The second response, I would love to come and speak about Bombay film history, but I don't know very much about colour. Perfect. Our aim today is to enter into discussion in a spirit of curiosity and exploration, to speak across our different fields in order to start new conversations and arrive at new understandings, both of what colour can teach us about Bombay cinema and what Bombay cinema can teach us about colour. We don't anticipate finding all the answers today, but we do hope to raise some interesting questions. A key part of this ambition to begin and continue a conversation about colour's role in Bombay film is the launch of our website. This is the sort of dangerous Steve Jobs moment of the live tech demonstration, which you can now find at bombayfilmcolour.wordpress.com. The website is intended as a new archive of Bombay Film Colour. As Ranjani has already mentioned, and we'll be discussing across our conversations today, colour has a scattered and dispersed presence in the official archives of Bombay cinema. Many original film prints are lost or damaged, with, we believe, no extant colour films made in Bombay before the 1950s. Production histories are not preserved and archived in the same manner as European or Hollywood studio film, while technical information about Bombay film productions has been distributed across global archives of Western technology firms like Kodak, Agfa, and Gevert. The website then aims to offer a starting point for anyone curious about Bombay Film Colour, providing them with an online archive and resource to guide and shape their research. So I just want to spend a few minutes kind of highlighting different features of the website and reiterating the fact that this is a live work in progress for which we would very much welcome contributions. So let me start with our timeline. So our timeline is by no means exhaustive, but aims to offer a more robust and accurate picture of the kinds of productions being made in colour, chiefly in the post-war decades before the arrival of colour television and video reshaped the landscape of colour media in Bombay. Purvi and I have written about the problematic nature of the timeline, as have Sarah Street and Josh Umibi, when it applies to Bombay Film Colour, given the fact that colour moved in anything but a straight line through Bombay film history. However, what we hope to do by creating this resource, which includes information where available, on camera negatives and release print stocks, as well as laboratory processing, is to offer as much information as possible on the history of these productions to give a firm grounding for future research. So as you'll see, certain entries have additional information contributed by network members, including visual analysis, historical research, and bibliographies for further reading. We are very open to contributions to the timeline. If you'd like to suggest a film or add an entry for a film that doesn't have the expanded information. So next, archives. Given the globally dispersed nature of archival material pertaining to Bombay Film Colour, we have begun a guide to official archives that house useful resources. The entries describe the kinds of holdings these archives contain, whether images, papers, promotional materials, or other kinds of ephemera. And the entries highlight key films that emerge in these materials. It should be clear that the aim of the website is not so much to present completed research findings, but instead to create the conditions of possibility for future research in the field by providing those who are curious with tools to discover additional information. Forthcoming entries include the National Film Archive of India, but if you have suggestions of other archives you'd like to write on, please do reach out to us. So, next, oral history. So a crucial component of our project, as Ranjani has flagged, is oral history. Precisely because of the inconsistent nature of official paper and print archives, oral history has become a crucial method of study for South Asian film history, and our network follows precedents set by other oral history projects related to Indian film heritage, such as the RACS Media Collective's History and Practice of Cinematography in India project, as well as other oral history projects exploring colour in particular, chiefly Sarah Street's interviews with cinematographers and lab workers for her AHRC project, The Negotiation of Innovation Colour Films in Britain. A key aim of our project then is to document the memories of creative and technical personnel, including Ujwal Nagukar, who we have in the room with us today, to produce a new archive in addition to those more official paper archives that you've seen on the archive section. As you'll see, we have included transcripts of interviews as well as, in some cases, videos of interviews with art directors, production designers, cinematographers, and laboratory engineers. So, for instance, we have a link to the recent interview we did with cinematographer Anil Mehta here that you can view via the website. Again, we're open to contributions to this section if you would like to contribute an oral history interview. So 2 remaining resources here remain rather self-explanatory. Event recordings, which will in time include the recording of today's proceedings. And a reminder, so Matt at the back of the room is recording this event in order to enable accessibility for those who weren't able to travel to London today. And he will be recording the entirety of the sessions, including questions from the audience. So just a reminder that everything is being recorded in the room today. So you will also be able to see recordings of our past events, including our launch event that happened last summer and our recent panel discussion on Bombay Film Colour and the Cold War. The other reasonably self-explanatory part of the website is the bibliography, which includes further readings of both primary and secondary sources to guide those who are curious to learn more. This is very much a kind of cursory bibliography at the moment, but if you would like to suggest resources to contribute here, of course, we're very open to that. Okay, and finally, I just want to flag the blog post section. So this is for topics that kind of fall outside those other categories on the website, which, as you'll see listed here, cover topics as diverse as colour television broadcasting, songbooks, state-sponsored documentary, and silent colour cinema, just to give you a sense of what we have here. At the risk of repeating myself, we're very open to contributions if you would like to write a short blog post for the website on a topic that doesn't seem to fit into these other categories. And just to flag that this is not restricted to our network members. If you are not officially a member of the Bombay Film Colour network but would like to write something for the website, we'd be very keen to hear from you. So please do take the time to explore the website as a resource and let us know if you have suggestions of how we could improve it or resources that you'd like to see added there.